Okay guys, so my name is Jesslaine and I am solving problems that you guys have been sending me. So here's the problem that we're going to solve right now. So look at that. We're going to solve that. It says which of the function below is the inverse of f of x equals 6x plus 4. So we're going to solve that. We're going to do the inverse and find the inverse of that. So let's do it. So let me write the problem. F of x equals 6x plus 4. Okay, so here's our problem and we want to find the inverse of this function. Now, a lot of people get confused with f of x, but f of x is just a fancy way of writing y too in slope-intercept form, you know, y equals mx plus b. So f of x can be substituted in for the variable y if you want to rewrite it like that. F of x just means the function of x. It's the name of, this is the name of the function. So if we use the variable x, it's the function of x. If we use the variable y, not y, let's say n, it'd be function of n. But f of x just stands, or f of anything just stands for y, just stands for that second coordinate. So we're substituting y in for f of x, and then to find the inverse, you flip-flop the x and the y. So we're gonna flip-flop the x and the y. We're gonna trade places there. And so I trade places with the x and the y, and then to find the inverse, all you do is solve for y. So we're gonna solve for y now after we switch the places of the x and the y. So now we're gonna solve for y. So the first thing we wanna do is solving equations. The first thing you wanna do is get rid of this 4. We look at the operation in front and do the inverse. Well, addition, the inverse is subtraction. So we're gonna subtract 4 from both sides. Okay, so x minus 4, we can't do anything like that because they are unlike terms. But then 4 minus 4, we get rid of that and equals 6y. So now we have x minus 4 equals 6y. So now we're going to solve for y still. So this is multiplication in between. So the inverse is division. So we're going to divide both sides by 6 because we're solving for y. We're trying to isolate that y. So divide both things by 6. 6 divided by 6 is just 1y. So we're just left with 1y. And then over here we have x minus 4 divided by 6. And that is our answer. That is the inverse of this function right here. So again, the steps are you change f of x to y because those are the same thing, y and f of x. And then you switch the x and the y and then solve for y. Thank you. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.